Welcome back. We are just one day away from state lawmakers heading back to the state capitol for this year's legislative session. After a dramatic end to last year and a special session, the heat is on for lawmakers, and we have Professor Jason Reineke here now to break down what he is expecting this time. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We were talking about it in the break, and you said culture wars issues, and to me that means hot button, that means tense, that means a lot of emotions.
Yeah, I think based on the bills that we've seen filed so far anyway, and it is very early, obviously the legislature isn't in session until tomorrow, but we're seeing a lot of issues pertaining to schools and issues therein. There's a bill that's been filed that would pretty dramatically change the definition of discrimination for teachers directed at students in schools in the state. There's a bill that would prohibit schools from flying any flag other than the United States flag or the Tennessee state flag. There's a bill that's been filed that would allow a parent who has complained about a book in a school library to actually sue a school official if that official didn't choose to remove the book as well. And so we're seeing, again, a lot of kind of culture wars and a lot of kind of school-related things. There's also, on a little bit of a different note, and I realize we're on a daytime show here, a bill that would require a sort of adult-oriented websites to require users to provide photo ID to prove that they're over 18 years of age, and that's similar to some laws that have passed recently in other socially conservative states as well.
I was going to say, I think that just passed in Florida or something,
I think that's right.
A similar state.
Yeah.
And I remember that being brought up. So back to this, a lot of issues facing schools and teachers and parents.
Definitely. And of course, the governor's priorities are focused largely on school vouchers as well. So we can expect to talk a lot about education in schools in the state, I think, over the course of the session.
I guess that's not really that surprising considering what we've been seeing. And are there any surprises in your eyes?
Well, I mean, there are some things that are sort of at this point maybe a little bit conspicuously absent. There's not, aside from the discrimination redefinition bill for schools, there's not really a lot directly about LGBT plus issues. There's not a lot, although there has been a bill filed dealing with reproductive health care access rights. There's not a lot about that thus far, especially considering the controversy that there's been over those types of issues over the last year or so. I'm a little surprised there's not a lot about the environment or disaster preparation or relief, considering the number of tornadoes that we've had in recent years and the drought that we're in as well. And, you know, honestly, cannabis is kind of a pretty big issue nationally right now as well. Something like 38 states have legalized medical marijuana and something like 24 have legalized recreational marijuana. So I'm surprised, a little bit surprised that we haven't seen that yet, but it is, again, going to be a long 4 or 5 months. And so things definitely will happen over the course of that time. And it's important for your viewers to speak up and make themselves heard. And remember, it's an election year and vote.
And you mentioned LGBTQ rights, and I think the flag issue could be seen as a little bit of that, right?
Yeah, it's not directly focused on that, but it definitely could pertain to things like the pride flag and the progress flag, but also things like the thin blue line flag or the Gadsden flag, the familiar don't tread on me flag as well. Okay. There are some exceptions to that proposed law for things like POW/MIA flags and military-oriented flags. Okay.
Anything really interesting to you? I'm told Christy's telling me to wrap.
Okay.
The student is telling me to wrap up. Give me a quick answer.
Well, she's great, and so we'll take her advice. But just the tone and tenor of the session will be really interesting to watch, given the supermajority and minority dynamic, and you know, a minority and a supermajority situation. Really, the only power they have is their voice, and so being heard and speaking up and speaking out, it'll be really interesting to watch.
Professor, thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And our State Capitol Newsroom Bureau will have extensive coverage of all of the hot topics. You can look up this segment and watch it anytime on our website under the Newsmaker tab. Meg?